My name is Laura, and I am owner and founder of Getting Fit to Live. I wanted to take a little bit of time today to, first of all, I've been MIA for a minute off of YouTube. I just want to first thank my subscribers for those who stuck around and hung in there. I'm back, and I am hoping to be able to invest more time and more attention and more energy into YouTube. I believe that this is my platform that I need to be on, especially because I have so many thoughts and deep thoughts and conversations that I want to have with all of you. So today, though, I'm going to go over the pros and cons of fast weight loss and being an individual who has, first of all, if you don't know my story, I struggled with weight all my life, addicted to food, struggled with binge and emotional eating. But I just recently it's been some time. Well, it's not been recently. I was able to lose over 200 pounds, and I've kept off 200 pounds for the last 6 years. And I coach women on how to sustain that weight. And I know that this is one of the things that people usually go to. You know, they want to lose the weight fast. We want to get the weight off, right? And that is totally understandable. But what I want to do is to let you guys know the pros and cons of it and what I personally suggest as a coach. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, the pros, we'll start off with the pros, okay? So the pros, and I have my list here because I wanted to make sure I stay on point. So I do have a few notes and everything like that to go over. So the first pro that I want to go through is going to be health. Okay, so if you are an individual who is struggling with high blood pressure, pre-diabetes, you're on different medications, when you are losing, when you have the ability to lose the weight, and normally it's on a very significant calorie deficit, about 1,200 calories or less, just depends on the individual and who you are following and what plan you are given specifically. But it's going to be at a steep calorie deficit. And what this is going to do is you're going to instantly lose that water weight, and you're going to lose weight significantly fast. So with doing that, you have the ability to lower your risk of heart disease and heart attacks. You have the ability to lower your risk of high blood pressure, high cholesterol, lower your risk of having to continue to take that medication. So in that aspect, it definitely is a pro. Okay. The other thing that I wanted to go over is motivation. You are going to be losing the weight fast. So you're going to be motivated. That's going to increase your motivation. You're going to want to continue to keep going. It's natural. You know, that it comes with it. You know, when you're seeing that scale move, when you're feeling good in your body, your clothes are getting, looser and things like that, it's going to motivate you naturally to continue to keep going, as opposed to when it's going a little slower. It takes a lot more of that internal strength in order for you to continue to keep going. Okay. The other thing is going to be physical connect with that we have with food overall. When you are significantly overweight, there is a high chance that you do have some type of issue with either food addiction, emotional eating, binge eating. High chances, okay? Not everybody does, but there is a high chance that you do struggle with that. So with that being said, when you are drastically cutting down to 1,200 calories, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be eating low carb, protein is going to be involved, low fat. So that's automatically going to kind of push out those foods, those comfort foods, those highly processed foods. So with that being said, it's going to help with the addiction part of it. So just so I can go into a little bit detail about that, highly processed foods are extremely addicting. And when you are consuming majority of those foods, you are triggered to eat them even more. Okay, so it makes it very difficult for an individual to be successful within a weight loss journey or stop binge eating and stop emotional eating when those foods that they are automatically going toward or leaning on for comfort are, on top of that, they are highly addicting. Okay, they make those foods addicting for a reason. They want you to continue to consume them. They want you to continue to buy them. So definitely when you get a chance, and I'll probably put it on the screen as well, the chemical that it releases, the endorphin that it releases, is dopamine. Okay, and it's a chemical release within the brain. It triggers our feel good emotion. Okay, so take that into consideration. Okay, that's something you definitely want to consider and think about. Okay, now we're going to go over the cons. Okay, so you can't expect there to be pros without any cons. All right, so there are going to be some cons that go along with this. Okay, now mind you, there are probably some other pros to it and things like that, and that will require you to do a little bit more research. I just went ahead and chose the ones that I know that are at the top. Okay, for sure, without a shadow of a doubt. And if you feel like you have another one, feel free to comment in the comment section, because we're all here to help each other at the end of the day. So now, when you're on a 1,200 calorie diet plan, the con is going to be, if you are on that for a significant amount of time, ultimately takes a toll on your relationship with food. I'm going to use myself for an example, okay? I've done a 1,200 calorie or less diet, okay? And when I did it for a prolonged time, I noticed that once it was time for me to, switch up and try to, change some things, live again, okay? Because that's not life, okay? Eating, for me, now, it's to each his own, but we go on vacations, we travel, we have family outing, things like that. We want to know that we can incorporate these foods without having a fear of eating them. And that's exactly what happened to me. So it created another bad relationship with food. I'm going to also put that probably on the screen as well, the name of it, because it's not coming to my mind right as a second. So I definitely will put it up. But there is a term for that. So definitely be aware of that and understand that. It can also be something that you can struggle with if you're doing this for a prolonged period of time. Another thing that you can struggle with is metabolic adaptation. Now, there's a lot of different information out there about metabolic adaptation. Some people say it's false. Some people say it's hearsay. Some people said there's no science that backs it up. I get it. I understand. Again, to each his own, but I experienced it. Now, I'm not saying I was in starvation mode, okay? Because we know, we've actually seen people that have been starving and lacking nutrients and things like that, okay? Although I was still receiving nutrients, when I came off of the 1,200 calorie diet and when I was getting ready to switch it up, I wanted to, like I said, I was ready to live again, ready to incorporate some other foods. Once I started doing that, and mind you, I was very mindful. I was just incorporating little small amounts of food into my diet plan, like maybe sweet potato here and there. I had completely stopped losing weight, and then it got to a point where I started to gain weight, okay? So I ended up having to do a reverse diet. If you guys want me to do a video about that, definitely let me know in the comments. But I ended up having to do a reverse diet, which basically is I started lifting more weights, cut back on my cardio, started tracking my macros, and started increasing my calorie intake. So I went from eating 1,200 calories and gaining weight to now being able to eat 1,700 to 1,800 calories and still lose weight. Okay, so the myth about you having to be hungry in order for you to be on a weight loss journey is false, okay? You can be full and sustain and still make progress, but I just want you to know that can be a con. You will, and a lot of people that have had surgery, if you have surgery, definitely please comment as well, but it's a lot of people and I have clients that have had surgery, and they have to go that extra because their restriction is cut low. Sometimes they're only eating 900 to 1,000 calories, and they have gotten to a point where they're not making any adjustments. And once I start making any improvements, and once I start assisting them with their macros and leading them and guiding them in the way they should also work out, as well as with the mental aspect of it, they're able to see results again. Okay, so just keep those things in mind for sure. Okay, the last thing that I want to go over as far as a con is going to be drastic fast weight gain. Okay, and this can happen once you go back and say, okay, you lose 60, 70, 80 pounds, 100 pounds, and people have done it. And once you go back into doing your incorporating those foods again, because you have cut all of them out, you gain it back really fast, as opposed to when you're already incorporating them into your daily life. Okay, first of all, you're not going to want to binge on them as frequently if you have done that work in order for you to make sure that your relationship with food is good. But You also benefit in the aspect of your body understanding, hey, these aren't new. I'm going to break these down just like any other, energy that I've been fueled. I don't feel like I have to store it. We're just going to metabolize it. Your body is used to the whole process. Okay, so just understand, and we've known that. We've seen, what is it? Biggest Loser. They lose all that weight super fast and then they gain it back super quickly. People that do keto and then they come off of keto, they gain it back super quickly, okay? So just understand, and there's ways to, do that and manage it, but once you just jump right back in it without any knowledge on how to start incorporating those foods in gradually, you can run the risk of potentially gaining it all back super quick. Okay, so now I'm going to go over my suggestions. If this is something that you are considering, I just want you to keep these things in mind, okay? I'm not saying don't do it. I'm not saying run from it, be scared of it. I'm just saying weigh out your options and really think about what you're wanting for the long haul. What are you desiring for your life, your food, your relationship with food, your body, your individual journey? Because everybody's is going to be different. And that's the most important part, is really understanding what you're wanting for your journey. So my suggestions are going to be, if you are struggling with health issues, I say use it as a kickstart, a jump start, okay? Start it off, 1,200 calories maybe for a couple of months or so, and then start to incorporate more energy, more food, start incorporating that so it can be more sustainable for you, okay? Because it's not about just losing the weight, it's about keeping it off at the end of the day. Why go through all of that work and then have to worry about how I'm gonna keep it off, or I have to worry about, oh my gosh, I'm gaining it all back now, I'm just eating a half a sweet potato or something like that, and I'm just using it as an example. But just as a kickstart, I say go for it, but cut it off and then go ahead and jump into incorporating a higher calorie intake, a higher amount, or if you're not tracking or whatever the case may be, incorporate some more fuel into your day, your daily eating, so you're able to have this to be, so this process can be sustainable for you. My other suggestion is going to be okay with taking your time. Okay, be okay with being patient, because I'm gonna be honest with you, there's so much that you need to learn or should be learning within the process. I've lost weight multiple times, okay? And this time around, I lost it pretty quickly in the beginning, but I knew the importance of making sure that I was undoing all of the things that I was taught about weight loss and from diet culture and things like that. I had to unpack all of that stuff, because for me, I knew that it was more mental than it was anything. Because again, I was somebody who had struggled with weight all of my life, struggled with my relationship with food majority of my life. So I knew that it was deeper than just knowing what to eat and how to work out. So with me going through these processes and knowing now the importance of the journey, okay, and really understanding creating a new relationship, the importance of creating a new relationship with food, I was able to create a lifestyle change for me, because I'm not allowing so-and-so's input, or because so-and-so did this or such and such did this, I'm not allowing that to interfere with my journey, your process, your journey, okay? It's good to take advice. We're all here to help each other. I'm not saying that. But what works best for you? And you will only understand and know that if you take your time and understand your process, okay? Understanding what foods work best for you and your body, understanding what workouts you really truly enjoy, understanding what's going to be sustainable for you. Is tracking good for you? Is journaling your food good for you? Is being a part of challenges good for you? There's so many different things that you can utilize along your journey, but that takes time. That takes time, okay? Just like it took you time to gain the weight, it's going to take you time to learn the process on how to keep it off. So be patient, hang in there, okay? And understand that it is not a race. Literally, it really is a marathon. And at this point, I'm just seeing it as my life, my new life, okay? So if you enjoyed this, please please feel free to subscribe and like and share with somebody that can benefit from this information. Again, I thank all of my subscribers. Please feel free if you have any comments below. Everything that I offer as far as my coaching, different kind of online courses and everything like that will be in the description. And don't forget, I love you. And remember, mind, body, and soul. Okay, once you transform your mind, your body will align.